Hello everyone, this is Chelsea and welcome to a new video. Today's video is going to be all about packing for the world race. So I'm assuming that most people who are going to be watching this are new racers, so welcome to the World Race family. Also, welcome to the very fun experience that is packing your entire life into a backpack. So today we're going to be going through what I think are the 5 do's and 5 don'ts of packing for the world's race. We're going to start with the don'ts because I don't want to end on a negative note, and then we'll go through the do's. So my first don't for packing for the world's race is to not pack a bunch of clothes. First of all, the more clothes that you bring will weigh down your pack. You'll probably end up buying a lot of new clothes while you're on the field. And if I'm honest, we all end up wearing each other's clothes on the squad anyway. The amount of times I wore my teammates' clothes on the race was insane. So there's really no need to bring 10 t-shirts when you're just gonna be wearing everyone else's clothes. Just to explain my point more, these are all photos of where I'm wearing someone else's t-shirts. Yeah, it happened a lot. My second don't is to not bring a mess kit. Now hear me out. I personally never used a mess kit my entire time on the World Race, not even in training camp. In every single country I went to, they always provided utensils, and so I just never had to use it. However, if you are insistent on bringing your own mess kit, please make sure it's very lightweight and very, very minimal. I'd say only 1 plate, a fork and knife, and maybe a cup. But again, I never had to use one, so if you're trying to save room in your backpack, there's no need to bring one. My third don't is a tent. This may come as a shock to some people, but I didn't actually bring my tent on the World Race and I never found a need for it. You need one for training camp, don't get me wrong, but for the entirety of my actual race, I didn't bring it and I never had a need to use it. The only thing that I would say about tents is that if you do really enjoy camping, there are opportunities that present themselves to be able to camp. Some of my squad mates that did end up bringing tents ended up camping out a couple nights in Ethiopia. So the opportunity is there if you do really love to camp. Otherwise, I took it off because it just saved more room in my pack for all the weight that I had. Now for this next don't, I was having a little bit of trouble planning out this video, and so I contacted my teammates to see what don'ts that they would say for packing. And my friend HBK said to not bring daily contacts. I do have glasses, but I never wear contacts, so this is all HBK's suggestion. She's really only suggested that if you do wear contacts, bring monthly contacts instead of daily because it saves a lot of room in your pack and a lot of weight that you don't need. She brought daily contacts and said she regretted it because she ended up using her glasses most of the race. So if you're a consistent contacts wearer, maybe consider bringing monthly instead of daily, or consider wearing your glasses every day. I'm gonna take these off. I never wear them and my team yelled at me because I didn't. Now my last and final don't is to not bring a huge pack. From what I remember, the World Race will give you a packing list on suggested items that you should get for the race, and it includes a 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, a lot of different options for different types of backpacks. But my suggestion would be that the smaller liter backpack you get, the better. The only reason for this is if you end up buying an 80 liter backpack, you're gonna end up wanting to pack more things into it. Now I went straight in the middle and got myself a hefty 70 liter backpack. But anything more than that and you're gonna wanna keep cramming stuff into your pack, which just grows your weight, and then you'll probably have to pay extra fees on airlines. It's just a messy situation. I just go as small as you can. The race is also about living minimally, so the less stuff that you bring, the better. And the size of your pack definitely helps with that. Now we're gonna move on to the do's. First do is to bring a sleeping bag. Now this might sound like an obvious choice, but some people end up not bringing sleeping bags on the race, and at night in some countries you're gonna want that extra coverage because it does get really cold. I use my sleeping bag in pretty much every country that I went to except for Ethiopia because they do have really good blankets that they give you. If you end up going to Hope, Ethiopia, don't worry, they give you really nice blankets. They kept me warm the whole time and I didn't need to bring out my sleeping bag. The second do is a pretty big one in my opinion. It's to bring a luggage weight. I was one of the very few people on my squad that brought a luggage weight, and the week before a travel day, everyone was using it. I almost couldn't keep track of where it was because everyone in the squad was using it at some point. So it'd just be helpful to everyone and yourself if you brought one as well, just so that more people on the squad have it. My next do would be to bring watercolor paints and art supplies. Now while I was packing for the World Race, I didn't think to bring any art supplies, and I really regretted it once I got on the field. Bringing art supplies actually really helps when you're trying to process something that the Lord gave you, or maybe a squad leader told you to process something, and painting it all out really helps. Pretty much all the notes that I got from my teammates or my squad mates all have some type of watercolor art on them. So bringing art supplies is just a really fun and creative way to help process anything that you might be feeling or that the Lord is prompting you to think about. And it's just a fun and creative way to spend your quiet times with the Lord, so I'd really 100% recommend it. Do number 4 is to pack your things in Ziploc bags. I know it sounds really weird, but let me explain. Instead of using packing cubes for the race, I ended up getting these really big Ziploc bags. And it really helped just compress everything really well and make everything as small as it could be. Also, if you roll it up and get all the air out of it, it just makes it really easy to fit into the pack. Do number 5. Bring a regular towel. This one may sound silly, but in my opinion, regular towels are so much better than the camping ones that can compress really well. I ended up using a camping towel at training camp and the entirety of Guatemala. In Ethiopia, they gave us regular towels, which was really, really nice, but when I got to Thailand, I went out and bought my own because I could not do it anymore. So just go ahead and get a regular towel that's all soft and fluffy because the camping towels are just not worth it. Now for the do's, I have a bonus. Bring photos and or Christmas lights. Now this one is specifically for gap year racers because you guys are in a country for 3 months. You have to make it home. 11 and 11 could do this, but I feel like it'd be more of a hassle to put up photos and after a month take them down and keep doing that for 11 months. So I'd more highly recommend this for gap year. Putting up photos just make a place that you're staying for 3 months feel way more like home. I did this in Guatemala and Ethiopia, and it totally made the space just feel way more like home and so much more roomy for my team. We even brought Christmas lights to make the place feel even more homey and more artsy. So if you really want to make a place feel like home that you're staying in for 3 months, I'd highly recommend bringing Christmas lights and or photos. Just a family or friends or places that you love, it just really makes the place pop and feel more like home. So those are all my packing do's and don'ts for the World's Race. I hope this helped you out. Comment below if it did, like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.